Today we're going to look at some of the checkpoint clock software. This is an Android simulation running on a PC, but normally this would be running on a phone or Nook device. On this side we have the physical buttons, and on this side this is the normal screen that you would see. So these are software emulations of the buttons that would be on the side of your phone or on the Nook device. As always, whenever we're doing a screencast like this, set your resolution to a high quality. That way you can read all the fine text. So let's take a look at if you're waiting at an arrival, people checking in to a stage. Click right here. So here we have, here's the time, near midnight, and the seconds are ticking away. We've got a big button up top to capture the time, and down at the bottom, just for the volunteers' own use, we have a log with the last few entries, just to keep things, just to make sure that the data that you're putting in is going in, and a battery icon. When you're in these clock screens, it actually pretty much turns off your auto timeout for about an hour and a half. So you want to make sure that your battery isn't going dead. So if we say that we've got a car due in the next minute in the 23:28, and okay, now this is his minute, he rolls in, and we'll say it's car 12. Okay, click, and we can click here and say car 12. We can click either save or done, it doesn't really matter. So save, and now that's recorded. So here is the 23:28 for car number 12. That lets you know it's in the log. It's not really big enough for the racers to view, but they don't need to view that. And you wave them in and off they go. So that's handling someone doing a check-in. It's very easy. We go back, and let's say we're doing the actual start of the stage, or the start of the rally. Anytime we need a countdown before someone leaves. So here is a stage start or a rally start. So it's very similar. We have a very big button up here to record when they're coming up. So let's say that same car number 12 has now rolled up and is ready to start, and he's going to start on the next minute at 23:30. Okay, he's here. We click this, and we set his race number. His race number is 12, and you can see it's pulled the minute ahead, the minute that's upcoming. So save, and now that we have this car here at the next minute, number 12, it's gone into this countdown mode. So this will count down to 0, and if for whatever reason we leave here and then come back, it's still counting down. So it'll count down until it gets to 0, and all the time this is still the same thing. This is still just for the volunteer to be comfortable that their information was recorded. And then you see as soon as it gets to 0, it just starts back over with a regular clock. So if for whatever reason the start needs to be held, you don't have to do anything. Just let the clock run out and run its course, and then re-record. If you held car 12 and you needed to start him now, click, you could start him now, and it would just record it twice. The guys back at scoring will figure out what happened. It's not really an issue. So let's go back here and look at what's happening at the stage finish. This screen is a very different looking screen, and actually this battery is actually much smaller on the real device. So we have the time at the top, just a very big capture button to capture the time, and actually a scrollable area where we can see what the times were. Now this simulation doesn't really have the right screen parameters. There's a little more information that fits on an actual phone device. So, but basically what we have here is just a big capture button, and click. When we click that, it captures the time, and if we need to grab another one, we can grab another one too, and it actually records to the thousandth. So essentially, you can click the button as many times as you want. It just records them in a big stack, and you can scroll back through all of them. Once you're ready, once the car pulls up to the control, then you can click on its entry here. You say, okay, click what, it tells us what the time was, 23:51:29.781, and now we can set the race number now that the car actually pulled up. Okay, good. There's, car number 57, or 67. And then this car that was just behind it, we'll click on that one, and we can say that was car number 3. So the clock on this screen is much smaller, just because it's not designed to be needed to be seen by a race car from 20 feet away. At the arrival and start, they do need that, but not at the finish. So then we go back. And then we can look at the log itself. This is just looking at the log of everything that's been captured, and we can click on any one of these to see the details. See, this was a finish capture. It captures here, and there was the race number. You can edit that if you need to, and go back to it. We have some help files. The most interesting things are there's the generic information about doing each of the controls. Here's the instructions for doing an arrival control. Here are the instructions for a start control. And as far as this clock goes, well, that's what we're doing right now. So that leaves us with this one button right here, this location button. And what this is describing the data that we're recording right now. What actually is it? So normally, if we are actually at, let's say, the arrival at a special stage, which day of the rally of it, which stage are you on? So let's say we're at the arrival at stage 3 of the entire rally. Okay, so if we go back here, we now see that we have this sort of code here. We're actually at D1, which is day 1, and SA, stage arrival, and 3. So this code actually tells us what is being recorded. Every time we tap the button and record a time, this little code is being recorded with it. So what that means is every time you actually record any time, you're also actually attaching to that time where you are. So if you use the same phone or the same Nook device to time a start control, and then there was a turnaround stage and you used it for a finish, you could actually say, yes, I did. I first used this at the start of the stage on stage 3, and then do all your arrivals, and then when you're done, you would actually come through and say, okay, I'm now at the finish of stage 4, and here's the new code, day 1, stage finish of stage number 4. So the zero cars should be checking that this is set correctly, and what this does is this helps when we upload all this data, it makes sure that it goes into the right place. It's part of there's a secondary check that goes with it, which is when you upload it, you actually manually say what it is. So there are a few options here. If you click on your menu button, the settings will let you change a black background or white background and some of the sizes. That's about it. The about just tells you which version of the software it is. The upload will actually let you send all of this information up to the NASA Rally Sport server. And then the final one is manage the database, which looks at all of the captures that we have. They're called splits. So we can, any of the old times, from essentially from last week or last weekend, or a month ago, anyone can clear out those. It actually requires a special password, which isn't public, to delete anything from this weekend, anything 5 days or less old. And that's just to preserve the data. In general, you want to save all of the data that is recorded no matter what, and only really the main timing guy would go ahead and delete some of the clocks and wipe them out at the beginning if they had been used for testing. So no need to really do that. So that's the story. It's actually very, very simple to use. Choose the clock you want, hit the button when the vehicle arrives, and record their number. Very simple. Enjoy.